Before we get into the video, please do not send hate to anybody mentioned in this video. All opinions are my own and opinions are not facts. Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be starting a new series on James Charles. Part 1, we'll be discussing the new allegations that came out a couple weeks ago involving another minor and James and everything that has happened since Isaiah came forward with his story. Then in part 2, we will discuss the inappropriate things that have happened over the past couple years involving James Charles. And let me tell you guys, there's quite a bit online that should have been taken more seriously at the time of it happening, because in my opinion, I think James has a problem when it comes to talking to fans online, manipulating the people that he's talking to, and just being completely inappropriate. But before we get deep into the video, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and turn on all post notifications so you don't miss an upload in the future. So let's get started. On Friday, February 26th, a TikToker that is only 16 years old uploaded a couple videos talking about his recent experience with James Charles. Before I clicked on the video when this first came out, I just thought this was going to be like every other time someone has come forward about James, and everyone was either going to brush it under the rug or the allegations weren't going to have any legitimate proof. But I was definitely wrong about that. Now, because this kid is only 16, I will be blurring out his face and I will be blurring out the pictures that he posted on James. But if you saw the original video on Twitter, the pics are definitely credible in my opinion. So let's check out this video. Roll the clip.
So last Wednesday on the 17th, James Charles snapped me on Snapchat. He added me back because I had snapped him a while ago, just like a fan to influencer conversation. I was excited because he's my biggest influencer-wise, and I've always looked up to him, so I was excited to get his message back. This is the notification that I got when he Snapchatted me first. And just for further proof, he deleted the chat. I don't know what he deleted, but that's me opening his Snapchat. I went into the bathroom, and I guess he saw the bathroom light, so he started making the conversation very simple, and it made me really uncomfortable. And I'll post some of the stuff that he sent me now. You can't see it because it's blurry, because I took it on my iPad, because I don't want him to see that I screenshotted it.
So this clip right here says, send me a video where you put your phone down in the shower and record hands-free, you flexing and showing off your muscles and hair. Ha ha. And then the next one says, I bet you can make me finish by just flexing and showing off your hair, body hair. Ha ha.
He proceeded to send me pictures of his body. So after sending me that first picture of his body, he sent me multiple after that. I was getting really uncomfortable, so I told him my age. I told him I'm 16. Meanwhile, he's 21. He's a grown man. And then he proceeds to say, oh, but I didn't even get to see meaning my body. And after telling him, no, I'm not gonna send it to you, he kept on asking for pictures and videos of body hair and me flexing and stuff. He proceeded to ask to FaceTime me, which I then said no to, and then I asked why. And this is what he said.
And this one says, just to watch you show off and look hot as ha ha.
It's sad to say that I can't even look up my biggest influence the same again. I've heard multiple stories about him doing this to people, but you never believe it until it happens to you. So now I'm a big believer of what James Charles does to other people, and it sucks because he has so much going for him, and he does this to himself.
So that was the kid's video that he put out. Again, he's only 16 years old, and he specifically said this all happened last week. This is a really short time span. Even if the kid lied about his age, which I don't think he did, why is James immediately sending these type of pictures to people in a matter of a couple days? That is just really weird to me. So moving on, James put out a statement a few hours later on his Twitter, and this is what he had to say. There's a video going around about me on TikTok and Twitter of a guy calling me a girl, and I want to address it right away. The accusation that I have this person is completely false. Last week I came across someone on my Instagram Explore page, saw he followed me, and I added him on Snapchat. The next morning I woke up to several snaps from this person being excited. I added him back, saying he loved me and also lewd photos of himself in the shower. I asked how old he was right away and he told me he was 18, so I started flirting back. In the excitement of meeting someone I thought could potentially be great, I didn't ask for a copy of his ID or passport. It's now clear based on the video he uploaded, he was taking photos of me with another device and had an ulterior motive from the beginning. Later in the day, he said a few things that made me question the validity of his original age, and when I asked him to confirm his age once again, he admitted he was 16. I told him I was really uncomfortable and apologized for flirting, but he insisted on continuing talking, saying it could be our little secret. He's a fan of mine and he would never tell anyone. I told told him I wasn't okay with this. He started getting upset, and at this point I unfriended him. We haven't spoken since. I'm not victim blaming him or victimizing myself either, simply sharing what happened, and what happened was not okay. After false allegations like this in the past, I would never knowingly engage with someone underage and put my life on the line for a few Snapchat. Because of situations like this, instead of taking someone's word for it, I now will ask to see the ID or passport of every guy I have a conversation with. So first of all, I want to heavily stress James posted absolutely no proof to back up what he was saying. Also, even if the kid lied about his age, it doesn't matter because it's literally against the law to send inappropriate photos or videos to a minor. James could literally face jail time and be convicted of a crime if the kid filed charges and he was found guilty. Before we move on, I do want to go through a couple points in this statement because I'm telling you right now, things don't add up with it at all. So the first statement I want to look at is last week I came across someone on my Instagram Explore page, saw he followed me, and added him on Snapchat. So that is James admitting that he was the one that found the kid and went through the kid's socials to find his Snapchat. This is my opinion, but this is behavior because looking at the kid's photos and videos, he doesn't look 18. The other problem I have with James's story is he had to go through the kid's socials to find his Snapchat, and since James admitted that he found him on Instagram first, he had to look through the kid's highlight stories in order to find the Snapchat. This is a screenshot of Isaiyah's Instagram, and right by the Snapchat highlight is a TikTok highlight. Within that TikTok highlight, it shows Isaiyah's age, and this story has been up for 11 weeks. So if he was checking the kid out, I have a hard time believing that James didn't look him up on TikTok as well. So I call bullshit on James not knowing the kid's age. The other thing is I found an account defending Isaiyah. This person says that she knows him personally. I can't verify this 100%, but I found these tweets interesting and wanted to share them. So when the news first broke, this person replied in a thread to Keemstar and she said, "It's legit, I know Isaiyah." Then she started defending Isaiyah, saying that James knew he was only 16. She even started posting screenshots of Isaiyah's Instagram highlights and stuff like that. One person was questioning everything and saying that people had done this in the past for clout, and she responded with, "I understand and believe some were for clout, but I know this is true. I watched him tell James he was 16. James says, it's okay, I still haven't seen that. I swear on everything, this one isn't for clout. Isaiyah already had a lot of followers. He didn't need this." And one point I would like to make is Isaiyah is a fashion model and he has over 300,000 followers on TikTok. This kid did not need clout, and coming forward with allegations like this, it doesn't give you clout. It gives you a mass amount of hate. If anything, it's terrifying to go up against somebody like James Charles with allegations like this, especially with his younger fan base when they don't understand how serious the allegations actually are. And then the person asked if she was there and she replied, "My little sister was because him and her go to high school together. My sister sent me videos on Snapchat the entire time. There was at least 4 people in that room who watched live as well." And then the last tweet I want to read you guys is she said, "James added him. James knew his age. Isaiyah was excited at first. His favorite person was texting him. James would not stop asking for it became creepy, and it made Isaiyah realize James' real intentions were he was just." So again, I don't know for a fact if this person knows Isaiyah personally. It sounds like she does. I just found the tweets interesting, so you can take with them what you will. Now, I want to go back to James's statement because there are a couple more highlights that I want to go through. The next morning, I woke up to several snaps from this person being excited I added him back, saying he loved me, and also lewd photos of himself in the shower. This is a huge red flag for me. So you're telling me that James Charles went out of his way to find this kid's Snapchat, look through his socials, added him, and he did not say a word to the kid after he added him on Snapchat. I have a really hard time believing that. The other thing is, if my favorite celebrity added me on Snapchat, I wouldn't be sending lewd photos of myself in the shower as a first impression. You would think he wouldn't want to risk scaring James Charles off. So I call bullshit on that, but that is just my opinion. But I still wanted to point that out because it just doesn't add up to me. And the last thing I want to touch on in this statement is, it's now clear based on the video he uploaded, he was taking photos of me with another device and had an ulterior motive from the beginning. So what I have to say to this is, how on earth could the kid have an ulterior motive from the beginning when James was the one that sought this kid out? He was the one that found him and looked through his Instagram and added him on Snapchat, not the other way around. So James, how can the kid have a motive when he wasn't the one that messaged you in the first place? Stop victim blaming. It's not right. James is the adult in this situation. It is never a kid's fault. I don't care if the kid did or didn't lie about his age, which James didn't show any proof of that whatsoever. James is a huge celebrity. He shouldn't be adding fans on Snapchat anyways, or sending nude pictures to them, period, especially when this isn't the first time that this has happened. This literally just happened back in June, July of 2020, and James got off the hook with it with hardly any backlash, and that kid was only 14 years old. One thing I do want to point out is that it seems like every single time this happens with James Charles, it is always over Snapchat. Snapchat seems to be an app where it is designed to make it easy for people that are pregnant. If you take a screenshot of anything, the person that you are talking to is notified that they took a screenshot, and unless you specifically save messages, the messages eventually disappear. So I think James purposely uses Snapchat to try and get away with this type of behavior. So moving on, I want to play a couple clips from Keemstar's Twitter. He explains how he checked with his lawyer to see what the laws are, and he also shows frustration because James continues to get away with this type of behavior. And the way he explains this is exactly my thoughts and feelings about the situation. So roll the clips.
I just triple checked, got off the phone with my attorney just to make sure I'm putting out the right messaging. Yeah, according to state laws, it's a crime. But also, according to federal law, the entire United States, if an adult sends pictures of themselves to a minor, even if that minor is lying about their age, it's a crime. It's a federal crime. Don't be sending pictures to anybody online. And if you're James Charles, you're an idiot because you got busted for this a year ago. I don't know what the fuck you're doing, James. You're just a fucking idiot. I'm done with it, right? 3 times a year, we're reporting a story that somebody on TikTok is exposing James Charles for private messages, right? Oh, he was sending stuff to me, and even though I told him I was straight, and he kept pursuing me. And then, James Charles will put out a defense. Well, he was baiting me. He lied. He said that he was, bi-curious or whatever. This has happened so many times. I don't even remember how many times it fucking happened. The point is how does James keep getting caught up? We always come to the conclusion that James Charles is the victim, and these other people are just out for clout and attention. Okay. But now we got 2 situations, and regardless if they lied about their age or not, James Charles most likely committed a crime. You can't send pictures to yourself, to a minor, even if that kid lied about his age. Still a crime. The law doesn't care. And now this has happened twice. In less than a year, both of this has happened. Let me ask yourself a question. We're always coming to the conclusion, poor James is the victim. But there are other influencers out there, like, let's say Corpse Husband, who have so many underage girl fans that if he were to message them and be like, hey, what's up? How old are you? Of course those girls would lie. So Corpse still continue to talk to him. We know that to be true, that the kids lie so they can talk to their hero. But we're not running stories on Corpse Husband. Corpse Husband isn't getting caught. Corpse Husband isn't getting exposed because he's not doing that. But you know who keeps putting themselves in this situation? James Charles. After almost getting it canceled, after this story's being huge and everyone covering it, and all the drama channels covering it, he still gets by the skin of his teeth and continues behavior. I don't think James is a victim anymore. It doesn't matter that kids want clout, that kids lie. He's acting stupid. He's acting reckless. He's messaging fans for hookups and he's getting caught up for himself.
So a lot of people were voicing their frustrations, but also a lot of people were coming to James's defense, saying that the kid lied about his age and that the kid was just clout chasing. Again, James put no proof of this, just like there was no proof that Ethan, the 14-year-old kid, lied about his age either. But again, it doesn't matter. There are laws in place for kids for a reason. They are not adults. Now, the story was spreading like crazy. TMZ picked it up and several other news outlets as well. Then all of a sudden, Isaiyah's video was being scrubbed from the internet. It was taken down off of his TikTok and his Twitter, and even Deaf Noodles, who retweeted the kid's video, he got locked out of his account for 12 hours. Once he got his account back, this is what Deaf Noodles said. My account got locked today for 12 hours because one video I posted exposing James Charles was reported for, quote, sharing privately produced, distributed, intimate media. According to Twitter's rules, they only take down for that reason at request of a person in the video or their legal. And then Deaf Noodles went on to say, while I cannot say for sure whether James and his legal team took down my video, it's highly suspicious. The video from the alleged victim's page was also taken down at the same time. After all of this went down, another underage boy that was 17 came forward and shared his experience with James Charles. He said that he also talked to James on Snapchat, and even after he told James that he was 17 years old in a video, James continued to talk to him. This is what the kid said in his tweets. In the video, I introduced myself and said I was 17. In the photo he sent, he continued to flirt and said he thought I was a catfish and that I was cute. It never got said. Just wanted to put this out as many guys have had similar experiences with him. And then he attached a screenshot of DMs between him and James. And this is what they said. James said, I appreciate it. Is that you in the photos you posted? The kid answers, yeah, of course. And then there's a video and he says, I look terrible right now. Ha ha. Now I want to talk about this video real quick. In the tweet I just read, the kid said that he sent a video to James Charles and he said what age he was. Now, when I was going through all of this, I noticed a pattern. Each kid that has come forward about James always claims that they did tell James their age, but they told him their age in a video. Ethan Andrew, the kid that was 14, said he said his age in a video.
Talking about, where's the facts? Where's the receipt saying that you were 14? I don't have the receipts. I told him on FaceTime. I told him on Snapchat.
Isaiyah, the tweets I read in the beginning of the video, his friend claims that Isaiyah told James his age over a video as well. And now this kid is also claiming that he told James his age over a video. I think this is requested by James this way on purpose. On Snapchat, when you do a photo or a video, unless you remember to save it, the photo or video disappears. Most kids, if they're talking to James, they're not going to remember to save the evidence of them telling him their age. If they screenshot it or save it, James would be notified of that as well. So this seems like a system and a pattern of James so that he can get away with this. It's actually really smart if you think about it, because if anyone comes forward about him, he can just say, well, they lied about their age, like he has done multiple times at this point, because he is counting on them not to have that proof. It's actually pretty messed up that he has a system of how he does this, and it just makes you wonder how many others there are out there that haven't come forward about James. So after the kid sends the video, James sends a photo to him, and then the kid replies with, oh my god, I'm actually terrified, ha ha. And then James says, LMAO, it's not that deep. And then the kid sends 2 more videos, and James replies with, hello, LOL. And then the last tweet the kid put up, he said, it never got said, but it was still weird how he continued to talk to me and flirt after I told him I was 17. But hearing many other guys speak up about it, I wanted to share. So after this kid came forward, another person came forward about James Charles. Only this person had an experience with James right around the Bisister scandal. So this guy was not underage, but what is interesting about this, while all these rumors are flying around about him being a he is behind the scenes pressuring someone. This is my personal opinion, but if you are in hot water for something like that, you are not going to risk anything unless you have an actual problem and can't stop yourself. Here's the person's TikTok. Roll the clip.
Damn, as you can see, conversation. This all happened during the whole Tati scandal. I actually reached out to him because I felt bad for him. As you can see, he asked me for my snap right here. You guys. Anyways, I give him my snap. As you can see, he adds me right here. At this point, he messaged me right away, as you can see. So as you guys can see, we did develop a streak. I know 3 isn't a lot, but it does show to prove that we were Snapchatting each other back and forth for a bit. And at this time, we were actually on really good terms. I did not think he was going to do anything stupid. So anyways, we started talking again at 3 in the morning, and we were snapping each other. I sent him a shirtless picture, and it was literally just me working out at home. If you know me, I literally post it on my story all the time. It's quite obvious that he was pressuring me into sending him photos. After doing what he said, he questioned my confidence.
Alright, so as you guys can see, he's questioning my confidence because I didn't want to send him a specific explicit photo. And I just find that very disgusting. Like, who does that to a person? Over here, I was telling him I was tired and that it was late, but he didn't seem to care, so... Obviously, me being me, I didn't want to lose the opportunity to talk to him, so I continued to do what he said. Anyways, I was getting really tired because it was super late. It was almost 4 o'clock a.m. and when I told him I wanted to sleep, he started to make me feel bad. He even asked me to video call and I said I didn't want to, but he still proceeded to call my phone. At this point, I got very, very anxious, and as you can see, I'm literally shaking in this video because I was so scared. I didn't want to do it, so I chose not to. I told him I didn't want to video call him because I was scared my parents would walk in. He told me to go to the bathroom. This is what he said. Then he gave me attitude and he removed me off Snapchat, as you can see. What pissed me off the most is how he questioned my confidence. Basically, when James was getting cancelled for the whole Tati Westbrook and Sam Cooke situation, I decided to reach out to him via Instagram DMs. I don't vividly remember what I said to him, but I did say something like, if you need to talk to somebody since you're experiencing all this, like, you can definitely talk to me about it. I also added that I was single. Anyway, so James responds to my DMs and he goes, he's not really looking for anything, but I'm cute. So I was like, okay, cool. As a normal person would do, I was like, here's my number if you change your mind. Then he told me to send a video of me introducing myself, so I did. So right after that, he asked me for my Snapchat and I gave it to him, so he added me.
Did you guys hear that? James asked me for a video introducing myself, so I sent it. Exactly the same as every other person that has come forward. And then James asked for Snapchat. Regardless if he's asking for these introduction videos on Instagram or Snapchat, both platforms, the video disappears. In my opinion, this is a system to him. He does the exact same thing every single time in order to not get caught. This is a problem. This is something he can't control. And in my opinion, I think there is way more out there that we don't even know about. Let's continue to listen to this guy's story.
2 days passed by, whatever, and the 3rd day is where things started to get a little weird. Remember, he said that he wasn't looking for anything, right? So anyways, later on during that day, I went to the gym and I posted a snap of me flexing, and he responded to my story saying daddy and babe. I put that under the rug and I was like, you know what, like, I don't care. Because I was looking to talk to somebody, so he called me that and I was like, yay, like, he likes me. So anyways, my best friend comes and she picks me up and she goes, oh, let's go to the bar. So I was like, okay. And if you ask her, she'll literally tell you I was glued to my phone the whole time. She gives me a call and she tells me she wants me to come to work. So I go to work for like a few hours and I come home around 2:45 a.m. And then I realized that I forgot to respond to James' messages. So I was like, oh. So I messaged him, we're having a conversation on Snap, and he starts getting a little flirty, and I was like, let's just take it slow, but obviously he didn't want it. Anyways, he goes, send me a shirtless picture, and I was like, okay, whatever, I don't care, because I posted it on my story, you know? So then he starts going, oh, send me pictures of your boxers, show me what you're wearing. And then he goes, let me see your armpits. And I was like, what? I didn't want to lose the opportunity to talk to him, so I just did what he said because, like, I was still shocked that he messaged me, you know? So anyways, he screenshots a photo that I sent him, and I was like, yo, why are you screenshotting my... He goes, oh, it's not like I'm going to do anything with it. And I'm like, if you're not going to do anything with it, why are you screenshotting it? Things started to get really weird because he started to ask me for pics of this thing over here, and I was like, what do I do? Like, do I send it? I didn't know what to do. I know a lot of you guys were saying, oh, like, you could have blocked him, blah, 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 but the thing is, like, when you're talking to somebody that you look up to, it's not as easy to do so. After sending him a couple Snapchats, he started to question my confidence because I wouldn't send him a specific video that he wanted. After feeling uncomfortable, I did tell him that I wasn't going to send it, and he started to question my confidence, which I find very, very disrespectful. At this point, I did start to suspect that he was using me for my... Because going back to the me being vulnerable and me being in a toxic relationship, he didn't care about that, and I told him about my anxiety too, and he didn't care. So anyways, I started to feel like he was using me, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to document it, because if I talk to anybody about it, they're not going to believe me, they're going to say you're lying. Notice that when I didn't want to do what he said, he started to give me attitude, and I told him, I literally said to him, I'm tired, I need to sleep. It's like 4 a.m. and I said that my parents are going to wake up, I need to sleep, and he didn't care. Like, he kept putting that under the rug. He's like, yo, go to the bathroom, do this, do that. And when I didn't do what he wanted to give me a whole lot of attitude because I didn't want to do what he wanted. Like, do you not have respect? So anyways, now I'm sitting there vulnerable and anxious, and I'm like, now I got my chance with this person, and I felt like crap. Like, after telling him no and that I want to go to bed, he started to manipulate me, and he started to give me attitude, and he made me feel really bad. Anyways, I went to bed, and I woke up the next day, and I tried to message him, and it said that he deleted me, so I felt used.
So this story at first, I didn't pay real close attention to it because I was more focused on the allegations from the 16-year-old. But once I really looked at the situation closer, I was like, man, James is really manipulative with who he talks to. And this guy, even though he isn't a minor, James clearly used him. And when the guy didn't do exactly what he wanted, he blocked him and was done with him. Again, I want to highly stress to you guys that this was during Bai's sister, and the allegations were about how he manipulates who he talks to, especially straight guys. It is unclear this guy's preference, but regardless if he is into guys or girls, James really manipulated him and treated him like he was nothing. I want to read through the screenshots before we move on because the messages that were sent is what really grabbed my attention. So some of these screenshots are really blurry, so I apologize in advance, and I'm going to try my best to read everything correctly. But basically, we heard him say that he sent James some photos with his shirt off. So it looks like this thread is just James talking, and people are accusing this guy of deleting messages, and it's unclear if he did or not. So just pay attention to how pushy James is. That pic in the shower was so hot. Hi. Okay, haha. I have to text. I can't talk. Can you go into the bathroom where your family can't walk in? LOL. Go to the bathroom, babe, where your family can't walk in. Go to the bathroom. I know. Why don't you go to the bathroom and call me so your family can't walk in? I mean, how many times does he have to tell this guy to go to the bathroom? And it does appear that he did delete some messages because if you read all this in order, it doesn't really make much sense. But in my opinion, James was being very pushy. And then in this next screenshot, the guy says, all right. And then James sends a bunch of angel emojis and he says, I'm trying to see what you want to do. And then the guy responds with, what do you mean? And then James says, like, show me what you want to do. Think about it. Get hard and snap me. LMAO. And then the guy says, okay, babe, last snap though, okay? And then James says, why? And he says, because I'm so tired. Then at some point, James questions his confidence and James says, LMAO, you not confident or something? Hello. And then I guess the guy sends him another picture and then James responds with, you've sent me that same snap like 4 times now. And then I guess he told James that his parents wake up at 4 a.m. and then James replies with, what, you're gonna go to bed? And he replies with, yeah, it's so late I have to wake up mad early too, but I'll send you a snap and snap me too. And then in this last screenshot, James sends a couple aggravated looking emojis and he says, you could be pooping, LMAO. And then the guy responds with, they're the type that will bust down the door, to be honest. And then James replies with, okay, whatever, I guess, night then. And then after this point, the guy said that James unadded him on Snapchat because he didn't do what James wanted him to do. It's so freaking manipulative. This conversation was so manipulative because the guy wasn't doing what James wanted him to do at 4 a.m. And you can see that it's 4 a.m. on this screenshot at the top. So fast forward to March 1st, Isaiyah, the kid that originally came forward about James, posted a Snapchat that said, on the way to the police station, bye sister. Looking at the screenshot, if you look at his eye, you can see that it's very puffy, like he has been very upset. This kid is probably getting a mass amount of hate right now, and I think it is important to realize this is just a kid that James allegedly took advantage of, and that isn't okay. There is not only the issue that this is a teenager and James is a grown adult, but also that there is a clear power imbalance, and James knows that when he talks to his fans. Now, it is unclear at the moment what exactly is going on with the case, but I did find another tweet by the girl that claims she knows Isaiyah, and she put out the following tweet. The most recent victim has gone to the police. There is a case number. The victim released his text with his best friend, and he sent her a voice note explaining how he told James he was 16, and that was 2 days before he posted anything. What she is talking about is this recording right here that Isaiyah put on his Twitter. I'm going to play it for you guys really quick, and for context, what this voice note is him talking to his best friend, and he's like bothered because James still did what he did after the kid told him that he was only 16 years old.
So one of my Snapchat videos want to send. So basically what I said like an hour ago was that I get what you're saying. It makes sense. I'm not going to make any big steps yet. I'm just going to kind of wait it out to see what goes on from here. Even though he already did it. If he asks for something again, then that's when I'll consider it. But if not, then... But he still did it. Like, that's the only problem. I don't know. we just have to talk about it more.
And if you read the actual text messages in this, it says, yeah, I'll see Kez now. He's talking about how he wishes I was of age so that he could date me. And then his friend replies with, please stop messaging him. So is this 100% proof that he told James that he was 16 years old? No, it's not, but it does show that he was messaging his best friend before he came out with all of this and talking about how James knew he was only 16 years old. So take what you will with this. Like I said before, it doesn't matter if he told him he was 16 or not. James is the adult in the situation. James is the celebrity in the situation. It doesn't matter. The law doesn't care, period. I do want to read one more tweet from this account that claims that she knows Isaiyah. Now, this account is all under like other people's threads, her replying to people, just standing up for Isaiyah. That's why I think she legit knows him. And it's really interesting that she said that there is a case number in the other tweet that I read, you guys. But in this tweet, she's replying to somebody basically saying that they don't believe Isaiyah. And she says, you for not believing him. I'm sick of people not believing the victim. The victim has been receiving threats. People are contacting his grandmother, telling her that her grandson is a liar. All you James stans have your head so far up your ass. So she's getting really aggravated that there are so many people not believing Isaiyah and saying that he lied about his age. But what really bothers me about this tweet is people are sending this kid threats. People are contacting this kid's grandmother saying that he is a liar. That is another reason why I think this person actually knows Isaiyah, because she knows a lot of details about the situation. She's not trying to get attention from it because it's literally on a thread of her just replying to people. So these tweets aren't really seen anywhere. So it's not like somebody that's trying to get attention or anything like that. I just so happened to stumble upon it. And I just found what she was saying was very interesting, and she seems to know Isaiyah personally. But again, I can't verify this 100%, so take with it what you will. So some other things that I noticed is Isaiyah's TikTok was banned, and I'm guessing that's because James's stans mass reported him. Because if you get mass reported on TikTok, your account is more than likely going to be banned without any warning. So this kid lost his big following on TikTok because of everything that is going on. Again, when you come forward about something like this, you don't get clout, you get hate from people. After I noticed this, I went to his Instagram to see if he posted any new updates, and he had a picture that was captioned, "When life gives you lemons, squeeze them into your haters' eyes." I am assuming this was posted because of losing his TikTok and the mass amount of hate he's been getting. One other thing I noticed is he commented back to someone in the comment section of this photo, and he said the following: "I don't have to prove anything to you. When you see James cut off for Morphe and in jail, you'll believe me. I don't need validation from anyone." And then he went on to say, "I lied. That's why the cops are looking into it in their computer system. Don't say shit unless you've been a victim of something like this before. If I was a girl, it would be different, right? That's up. Y'all are so quick to say I'm a clout chaser. Look at you. You're literally trying so hard to comment on my post as much as you can to get attention. Like, you can hate on me all you want, but you're the one that's looking stupid." He admitted to his wrongs on Twitter. Since you want to say Twitter has all the evidence, then check harder next time. If a murderer killed someone and turned himself in, you're still gonna defend him? No, right? That's what you're doing with James, you sick fuck. Get the off my page. So this sounds like the police are investigating things, and it also sounds like Isaiyah is just getting really annoyed at people that keep hating on him and blaming him for this happening, and that's totally understandable that it is starting to get to him. I can't even imagine the things that people are saying to him. It's hard for an adult to hear such nasty things from people, so I can't even imagine being 16 and dealing with something as big as this. So moving on, how has James been handling things ever since everything came out? Well, he's been acting like life as normal. On March 1st, he put out the following tweet: "Good morning," with a ray of sunshine emoji. And then somebody replied to him and said, "I don't think you can notes app your way out of this, James." And James replied with, "I'm not trying to get out of anything. No matter what happened, it was unacceptable, embarrassing, and I should have taken the extra steps to research the person I was talking to. There is no excuse. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. This is on me." And then he also replied to somebody else, and I think this tweet has been deleted because I can't find it anywhere on his Twitter anymore, and it says, "I'm 21 years old and I'm attracted to people that are close to my age. It's not always clear how old someone is based on their appearance, hence why it's always good to verify someone's age. ... question mark." Which that to me is really weird why he would put a ... question mark at the end of that statement, but okay, whatever, James. And then this next tweet I just found really funny, and I think he actually deleted this too because I can't find it anymore, but it was just funny just considering the allegations and everything else and how he was messaging fans. Somebody had asked him, "Hi, genuine question. Why do you give out your phone number in your YouTube videos? My daughter is a fan and told me about it. Thanks." And then James replied with, "Hi mama, it's a number that I can text fans on with fun updates." Happy face. I just found that really funny because he's like messaging his fans like weird stuff. And he actually responded to somebody on March 1st saying this after everything came out. So it was just really funny to me. Then on March 5th, James Charles went back to his normal schedule, uploading videos and acting like he has done nothing wrong and completely avoiding the situation. And then on March 9th, he posted another new video acting like life as normal. And then on March 12th, he posted another video, a gaming video that caters to children, and he collabed with a 16-year-old influencer as well. And if all of that isn't bad enough, on March 13th, James Charles won a Kids' Choice Award from Nickelodeon. Wow. It was bad enough that he was nominated, but to actually allow him to win the Kids' Choice Award, that's pretty messed up to me, considering the circumstances and that he openly admitted that he actually did this. A lot of people had a lot to say about the situation. Ethan Klein with H3H3, he put out the following tweet. "Congratulations to James Charles on his Kids' Choice Award. It's great because kids have always been his choice too. P.S. Nickelodeon, please keep an eye on him during the after party." And Mikenactor put out the following tweet. He said, "He sent nudes to a minor. I will never believe another Hollywood expose. These people pick and choose who to expose, much like they negotiate a contract. This is all business." And Keemstar puts out the following tweet. "James Charles admits to sending nudes to kids and wins a Kids' Choice Award 2 weeks later. Are you insane, Nickelodeon?" And actually, James Charles blocked Keemstar because of this tweet, and Keemstar responded with, "If I was 14 years old, I wouldn't be blocked," and then he put a screenshot of James Charles blocking him. Def Noodles also had something to say, and he said, "James Charles has not posted about the win. James is apparently celebrating by playing video games," and then he puts a screenshot of James Charles playing Mario Kart. Seriously, James, not the best game to be playing, considering the circumstances. And for the most part, the response from other people was about the same. Someone commented, "How ironic, kids are his choice too." And then somebody else commented, "Nickelodeon, what the fuck? I mean, you already have Dan on your record, now this." And then someone else commented, "Nickelodeon loves child predators, so not surprised." And somebody else said, "I feel like this isn't going to age well for Nickelodeon." There were some people in the comments that were in favor of James, surprisingly. Somebody commented, "Full context, the person lied and told James they were an adult. He deserves that award, and I'm so happy everyone voted for him." And then somebody else said, "It's a viewer's choice. He deserves the win." So you guys, this is the end of the video, and you are all caught up on what is going on with James Charles involving this minor. My final thoughts on what James has done is that we need to keep the same energy for him as with other creators. I am not saying send James a mass amount of hate because I don't agree with all of that, but he does need to be held accountable for his actions because this is literally a crime. He shouldn't be able to win Kids' Choice Awards and upload regular videos just because he put out a notepad statement putting blame on the victim. In my opinion, he doesn't seem to care about what he has done, and according to his notepad statement, he will continue talking to fans. He will just be sure to check their IDs from this point on. That is just not okay. There are dating apps out there if he is actually looking for someone. He doesn't need to be messaging inappropriate things to his fans. If this was a teenage girl with a male influencer, I think there would be more of an uproar over this. There is so much that has happened over the past 2 years with James that raises a lot of concern, and we should have seen this coming. In part 2, we're going to take a deep dive into James's past, and we're going to go through all the inappropriate things that James has done, which leads me to believe that there is a problem and James can't help himself. I seriously think James needs to get some help because this isn't normal behavior. So part 2 will be out very soon, and I want to take a second to thank my members. Thank you to Stephanie, My Love Floral Foam, Leah, Zales, Liz, Diana, Haley, Claire S., Smiley Mama, Maury, Stephanie, Emmy, Bugsy B, Doublemint, Jamal, Gingersnap222, Crystal, Tina Colry, and Susan. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you so much for being members of my channel, and thank you to everybody that is subscribed. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you guys in my next one. Comment down below your thoughts and opinions, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye, guys.